What's up, guys? This is the Gospel According to Mark with a C. He is I, and I am he. Just taking some time to tell you exactly what's on my mind. Thank you for joining me once again, my friends. Hope all is well with you. Now, guys, I want to share this story with you because I feel like it's very important and I want to get your opinion on this. But first, I want to ask a question, particularly of my black Americans who might be out there in the audience who are watching this, because the answer is something that I want to have in my comments for everyone to see because this is important and I know everyone is wondering about this, right? So I want you to think about this and I want you to answer this very, very, very important question. And the question is, in 2023, about to be 2024, as black Americans, of course I am one, the question is, are we that desperate? Now, are we so culturally bankrupt and so desperate and so needy that we have to be taking other people's culture to feel good about ourselves, to reaffirm who we are? Is the best we can do is to take other people's culture and put that on ourselves and feel prideful about that? Is that the best we can do? Is this what we want? Is this something that serves us in our image, our own self-image? The reason why I'm asking this is because it seems like this thing is getting out of control when it comes to appropriating other people's culture. It was bad enough when we were doing this in fiction, when we were taking The Little Mermaid, when we were taking Robin Hood. But it gets even worse when you start taking actual historical figures and twisting them to reflect us instead of who it really was. You know what I mean? But you're beginning to see this. Now, we saw this with Cleopatra earlier on this year, and now we have Hannibal. And no, I'm not talking about Hannibal Lecter. No, I'm not talking about Hannibal from the A-Team. We're talking about Hannibal the Conqueror from like way back BC, but they're going to be doing this new movie, right? This movie upcoming from director Antoine Fuqua of Training Day fame. Okay, he's going to be doing this movie about Hannibal, and none other than Denzel Washington is going to be playing Hannibal. Now, this has caused some controversy because Denzel Washington is a black American. Hannibal was not. Okay, so we're going to get into this story here, guys. Please let me know how you feel about this. This was in the independent.co.uk, and we're going to begin with the headline, which says Denzel Washington's casting as Hannibal in Netflix film sparks race row in Tunisia. Okay, it goes on to say, Tunisian politician Yasmin Mame claimed the country should protect itself against the possible falsification of historical facts. The country should protect itself from this. That's how important this thing is getting, this whole issue. Okay, we heard this with Egypt, like I said, with the whole Cleopatra thing. Now we have this going on over here. Guys, there's a danger to this, but I'm going to get into that in a minute, okay? It says here, Denzel Washington's casting as the ancient Carthaginian general Hannibal has sparked controversy in Tunisia, where the military commander was born. It was announced last month that Washington will reunite with director Antoine Fuqua for the Netflix historical epic. Washington won the Academy Award for Best Actor for his role in Fuqua's 2001 crime thriller Training Day. Of course, that was a classic. We all love it. However, according to reports by the Tunisian news website Capitalist, the casting news ignited a debate in the country that reached the Tunisian parliament. Okay, that's how deep this is, man. It went all the way to the parliament. On Thursday, November 30th, the country's Minister of Cultural Affairs, Hayat Gatat Gwarmazi, announced that her department was seeking assurances from Netflix that parts of the movie would be filmed in Tunisia. In response, MP Yassin Mame questioned why the country had not been informed about the content of the upcoming film, including Washington's casting. She says, there is a risk of falsifying history, he reportedly stated. We need to take position on this subject. This is about defending Tunisian identity and listening to the reactions of civil society. My cousin Balki, he is not doing dance of joy about this, he says. Wermazi responded by pointing out that the content of the Netflix film is beyond the government's purview. It's fiction. It is their right. Hannibal is historical figure. Even if we are all proud that he is Tunisian, what could we do? She said. What matters to me is they shoot even one sequence in Tunisia and mention it. We want Tunisia to become a platform for foreign films again. So she's just concerned with getting that bag. She wants to put Tunisia on the map. So she sees a big name like Denzel Washington and she's like, yes, let's do this. It doesn't matter if historically this is inaccurate. Let's just do this and get our name out there so we can possibly get going with our foreign films. A change.org petition signed by over 1,400 signatories described Washington's casting as racist. Netflix is intending to air a documentary about Tunisian Carthaginian Hannibal, the military genius of Carthaginian origin, claiming he is non-indigenous, Tunisian, North African, Punic, Phoenician Easterner, the petition states. This is a false and racist information in an attempt to support the racist Afrocentric movement. The racist Afrocentric movement. They've given this thing a name. Like I said, this is dangerous when the whole world starts seeing Black Americans as nothing but cultural parasites and vampires. This is not something that we should want to be associated as. We should want people to want to be like us. We should put our images out there that are so dignified, that are so compelling that other people want to identify as us, not us looking to take what it is that they are. We got this thing backwards. Now, as we all know, Denzel Washington is one of the greatest actors of this generation. He's very talented. He's very well received. He's awarded. He's a good man. It actually surprises me that he would actually be involved in this. It's not a question whether or not he can play this role or whether or not he can play this role well. This is the point that I've been trying to make when it comes to The Little Mermaid, when it comes to all of these other things. This is not about the actors. This is not about shitting on them or disrespecting them. This is about why are we doing this as if we don't have our own stories to tell. As if we can't present ourselves as better than this. These people have a right to be offended. Of course they do. One of the things that really impressed me, you guys know I was talking about Godzilla. One of the things that impressed me about Godzilla and RRR, also, these are two of my very favorite movies over the last couple of years, RRR and Godzilla. And they both share something in common in that there is a dignity in presenting your culture and the stories of your culture, even the fictional ones. And what you notice also is that this fiction was based in fact as well. You know what I mean? So they took a factual event, something that actually happened historically, and they put a fictional spin on it to great effect. And when you watch it, there's so much more depth to it. You can appreciate it more. You can be proud of them for them, as a matter of fact. I have some people come into my comment section from India who loved my review of RRR. They love sharing their culture with the world because it made the world respect who they are. And it's the same thing with Godzilla. I had people from Japan come into my comment section and say, thank you for reviewing this. We really appreciate, where you're coming from with this. And I'm honored by that. You know what I mean? I really love that. Unfortunately, as Black Americans, we don't get that type of consideration. What Hollywood tells us is the best you can do is rip off somebody else's culture, as if you don't have a culture of your own. Now, I know there's a lot of people out there who are tired of seeing slave narratives and things like that. I think what we're more tired of seeing is the victimhood narrative. Now, if you took, think Django Unchained. All right. Think something like that, right? Where you had a leading man or a character who was so strong. It was based in reality, historical facts. Slavery happened, but they gave him a fictional story that elevated his character. It elevated the pride of the people, who came through that struggle, that fought against that struggle for their dignity. So when you watched it, you were like, damn, this is something epic. You put an epic spin on something that really happened in a fictional way. We need more of that. That's what I'm talking about. That's something that we don't see enough of. We've had enough of the victimhood narrative. We've had enough of the old woman singing off camera. Look at what these white people did to us. We've had enough of that. You know what I mean? But what we need is more of a ownership of our rich culture and our dignity and the strength of what it took to come out of slavery, to come through the civil rights movement, to reclaim our humanity. That's what we need more of. Not to go over all of that and look into somebody else's backyard and take who they are. But unfortunately, that's all Hollywood is interested in giving us. And the world is taking notice to the point where you have parliament of a country talking about historical inaccuracies. This is not good when your people is seen as this way. So it says here, Hannibal was born in Carthage or Carthage near modern day Tunis. I know I'm mispronouncing these things, but once again, it's not my culture. You know what I mean? I just have to get educated. I'm sure you guys will educate me. In 247 BC, he's considered to be one of history's greatest military leaders. He is well known for going to war against the Roman Empire in 218 BC, leading his troops in African war elephants across the Alps so he could attack Rome from the north. Now, I'm sure this is going to be a very dramatic movie that's coming out with Denzel Washington here. But like I said before, if it's not historically accurate, it just looks like a fucking clown show. And I'm just tired of that. That's what I was talking to Director X about. We need to give our people or people who came up in a certain neighborhood or area or a country or whatever, something more to feel proud about, because people know what's real and what's fake and what doesn't ring true and things like that. Denzel Washington can go on to get his next Oscar, but it doesn't do anything for the integrity and the respectability of the people that he claims to be representing. You know what I mean? So let's see if there's anything here also that's worth reporting. I don't think so. I think that's pretty much it. Although it goes on to say Hannibal's skin color is not a matter of historical record. Historians largely agree that he was of Phoenician descent, likely with roots in the modern-day region of Lebanon and Syria, but he lived at a time when cultures mixed frequently. Of course, so that's the same thing they said with Cleopatra. You weren't there, you couldn't know, there was mixed racing going on and stuff like that. It doesn't matter, guys. It doesn't matter. All right. This is the kind of thing that I'm talking about here. All right. We are now in a culture in Hollywood where everything has got to be about representation and all of that stuff. So you want to be more accurate, especially if you're trying to give people a sense of pride in who they are, because that's not reaching the people that it needs to be reaching. And this is not the way to do it. So guys, anyway, that's my opinion on this. You guys can get in the comment section and let me know how you feel about this. This is not to shit on Denzel Washington. I have great respect for Uncle Denzel, despite what the thumbnail looks like. I really do, guys. He's one of the best. I love him as much as I can. I love his body of work. But this just isn't it, guys. Not to me anyway, but you guys can get in the comment section. Let me know how you feel about this. As always, you can like, you can share, you can subscribe. Thank you guys so much for the super thanks. I really do appreciate it. And I will catch you guys on the next one. This is The Gospel According to Mark with a C. Rock on.